it's the proudest day, the proudest time, and the seat of a rally car, because that day and that hour and those minutes, I got the bit between my teeth. You know, I really stood up and was counted and said, this is not getting away. I remember when we pulled on our helmets and Donald says to me, what are we doing? I said, we're going for gold, Barrett. That's all was said. I can still picture that run. That was just the best run ever.
Welcome to Crunching Gears, the Rally Podcast. This is a Rally Catalunya special, where Conor Edwards, who's out there at the moment, catches up with some of the crews and some of the behind the scenes from the event and gives us a wee flavour of the event. He catches up with the guys from Dirtfish. He catches up with Ken McBride, who's on the spanners for PCRS this weekend, and then some of the crews taking part as well. We just thought we'd bring it to you something a wee bit different, short and sweet, but always good to hear the wee tweaks in the stories and one thing and another. So without further ado, we catch up with Colin Clark and Luke Barry from Dirtfish. Then we hear from Ken McBride. As I said, he's over there with Philip Case rally team. He is behind the spanners, obviously as competent there as he is behind the wheel. And then Grace O'Brien, who's out with Ryan Caldwell as they compete in the European Rally Championship part of the event and the Rally 4 Fiesta. Hoping they have a strong weekend this weekend.
So we're in service in Salou, joined by Luke and Colin from Dirtfish. I'm sure everybody knows who you are. Quick question for you.
Yes.
We've had 8 times world champion Sebastian Loeb. 9 times world champion Sebastian Loeb, 8 times world champion Sebastian Ogier, and we now have a 22-year-old Cali Rovanpera. Is that good for this sport? Or are we going to have another 6, 7, 8 more years, or what do we think?
Look, domination is not good really for any sport, is it? To have a 22-year-old world rally champion is great. It's great for the sport. We won't have another Ogier or Loeb because he won't hang around that long. I can't see him doing it. He's a young man who has many years of motorsport in front of him. I don't think they're all going to be rally. I think he might do another 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years, and then he'll go. But yeah, listen, who knows? He's won his first title. Is he going to dominate? I don't know. I think safe money would be on him, winning 2 or 3 or 4 titles. But who knows? You put Oyt Tanak back in a competitive car, maybe someone like Neuville gets a few breaks, and there's always the opportunity that that they'll win the title. I think Tanak has more titles in him, and I think Neuville has a title in him. So if they can step up, then maybe that domination might not appear.
Do we think Cali has another couple of gears to go up as well, rise to the challenge?
Of course he has. It's not just the gears, it's the experience. And less so. It used to be that rallying was all about experience. You were never at your best until you were late 20s, early 30s. That's all changed, and that's all changed for a number of reasons, particularly onboard videos and seat time. Drivers starting, as Rovanpera did when he was 14?
Last 8?
Late 8, yeah, competitively when he was 14.
Yeah.
So things have changed, but there is no question that the more rallies he does, the better he will get, and the others will all have to up their games.
And look, your time following the sport, it's been dominated basically by your 2 French champions, and now Cali. What's your thoughts or feelings? Where can Cali bring it? I suppose does it bring a whole new generation in?
I think that's the hope, and particularly in Finland, it seems like that's the way it's going now. There seems to be a lot more interest, and it's always been a popular sport over there. But I think now with Cali, the younger fans are really into it because they've had 20 years of just the French taking what was theirs away from them. But it's interesting to think about, can he get any better? Because if he can, it's quite a worrying prospect.
But we look back to say Formula 1 when Lewis Hamilton won his first title. How old was he? I can't remember. He was young. Verstappen, for example. And there is no question these youngsters get better. They get better as they get older, and they can deal with situations, in an older, more mature way. And that's the test. He's always going to be quick. He's always going to win stages. But when adversity comes his way, how will he deal with it? And as you get older and you get more experience, you deal with it better. So there's no question he'll get better, and the others will also, I suspect, have to up their game.
And we've caught up with Kyle McBride in the service park here in Salou. Kyle, fresh from the juniors, and we'll find you're doing something different this weekend. You're not sitting behind the wheel.
We're in the spanners this weekend, so now it's all good. We've whenever I'm not driving, I'm usually screwing, so I'm doing an apprenticeship with Philip, so it's last 3 years, so yeah, it's a great experience to be out the world level, and see even the Rally 1 cars and the R5 cars, it's unreal, and some experience to see, and see the way the drivers prepare themselves for this level, it's crazy, but some experience.
Yeah, and what do you call it? There's quite a bit of work to be done this weekend. Whose car are you working on?
I'm on Philip Allen's car this weekend. So we're just usually one person per corner, and yeah, we all have our jobs. We all have our jobs to do, and yeah, it's fairly good. It's good to be a part of, a big team like this, and yeah, it's great.
And Philip get a chance to get a test. How did the testing go?
Testing was very good. Getting the feel for the car he's obviously it's a new car, but he was out rallying it there 2 weekends ago to do a kind of shakedown rally on it, So it went well, and just getting them. They were through scrutiny today, and they're ready to go now, more or less,
We're catching up with Grace O'Brien. Grace, you very kindly had a chat with us on the podcast there last week, and just now chance to catch up. You've completed the recce, you've completed shakedown. What's your thoughts before the rally itself starts?
In fairness, we did a very good, very comprehensive recce. Recce's normally quite tough. It's the toughest part of the event, but we actually quite enjoyed it. Making our own notes, the 2 passes, quite tricky, quite challenging, but some lovely, very fast flowing asphalt stages. So can't wait to get going. We just had a run through shakedown there now. I suppose our first real spin in the car, just to set it up really, check tyres. It was a chance to check notes as well, I suppose, at rally speed. And I have to say we really, really enjoyed it. So I suppose can't wait now to get going. And just fingers crossed really for the weekend.
And I understand it was quite a tight turnaround. You had recce this morning and then straight to shakedown?
Yeah, so it's quite a compact schedule really. We had recce yesterday as well as this morning, so we recce'd 2 stages this morning. Quite a big loop and quite big stages. Then we came straight back, quick bite to eat, straight out to shakedown. We've just finished shakedown there now, so we just get ourselves ready. Ceremonial start and early to bed tonight hopefully, and a good day tomorrow.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Wishing Grace and Ryan all the best for the weekend there now. Then Conor caught up with Gus Greensmith. Gus told us about, what is the hybrid system? How does it affect the car and one thing and another? It's a very interesting couple of minutes. And then James Fulton, one of our own again. And James this weekend hopes to clinch the WRC2 junior co-driver's title. So, fingers crossed that works out for him, and then it gives us wee insight into what he thought is going forward then to be sitting with Breen.
So we're with Gus Greensmith. Gus, just before the start of Rally Spain, I'm just more curious about the hybrid cars, the new Rally 1s. What's your thoughts, your feelings? They do seem to be more suited to your style of driving. What's been the big difference between them and the previous WRC cars?
Obviously there's a lot different. There's no centre diff. We have the hybrids. We have a lot more power, but we have less aero in a way, so less kind of driver aids, if you would, and more power. So the car is quite different to drive. Effectively, for me, it feels quite a lot easier to drive than last year. But that's just how development goes with these cars. The balance of the chassis is very good, and yeah, for sure we're carrying a lot more weight with the hybrid, but the weight distribution in the car is now so good that you can't really feel it. The car is incredibly responsive. You're not struggling for any. You're not hesitating, and we have probably more aero now. I think all teams have more aero this year, even though we've been given less. It's just development again. And yeah, obviously the more power makes a massive difference, especially on tarmac. I think here this weekend we'll see the times be quite different to last year if the conditions are similar.
And the power boost, did it take a while to get your head around that and how to get the maximum out of it? Or I suppose that was one of, apart from the differentials, was a big change for this model. So what's it like with the power boost?
I mean, it's a big whack. When you don't have it, it's effectively the same engine as last year but with 5 gears. And you can feel how much it adds. So when you don't have it, it feels like you're not moving anywhere. So you want to use it, but effectively it becomes like a two-stage engine almost. You have your normal engine and the engine with the hybrid. Effectively, it works the same. If you have wheel spin, you're not going anywhere. You're just wasting time killing your tires. So it's about managing the hybrids, using the extra power effectively rather than just wasting it.
And with a couple of new stages for Friday on the event, and we were talking to Sebastian Ogier, and he said they're already starting to cut and pull out a lot of gravel. What are the stages like? How would you describe them? Are they typical of the usual stages here in Spain, or they seem less technical? They seem to be more flowing, faster.
To be fair, there is quite a lot of cutting in these stages. I think a lot of it will come down to how much it rains. If it's wet, then we could see a hell of a lot of mud, and then road position becomes incredibly important. But if it's just damp and we don't have the rain, then it should pollute, but we should also create the lines where we can stay in the lines and still have good grip. So I think a lot of it depends on how much it's going to rain over the next few days.
And is there any kind of indication on what the percentage chance is for that, or how heavy it might be?
It's kind of the same, scattered showers. Hard to tell the intensity of the showers. So yeah, we'll have to see.
We're joined by James Fulton. We're in the service park here before the start of Rally Salou. James, you're currently leading the WRC2 Junior Co-Driver Championship. What do you need to do to clinch that?
Yes, so this weekend I just more or less have to finish. If I finish this weekend, and it also depends on what Louis Luca, who's currently second, he's Gregory Munster's co-driver. It depends what Louis has to finish top junior co-driver here and in Japan also to win. So yeah, hopefully this weekend we can wrap that up, and it'd be real nice to way to finish the year out with Josh and the whole academy team, and it'd be a nice one to get.
And James, that's not the only reason there's a lot of focus on you at the moment. It's been announced that you're going to be sitting with Craig Breen from the next and final round of the WRC Championship in Japan. What's the thoughts with the thing? Have you even had a chance to come to terms with this? Has it sunk in yet?
Yeah, it's been a busy week on all fronts, but to be honest, I haven't. Obviously, getting ready for it, because it's a big step, and obviously looking forward to it. But this week's definitely just been focusing on Spain and taking one rally at a time. I'm not getting too caught up in it and the social media and the things like that. But look, when Spain's over, obviously reset now on Monday, and full focus then on doing the best job I can in Japan, and hopefully it all works out and we get a good result and get the relationship off to a good start. So really looking forward to it, obviously, and it's a great opportunity. And this isn't your first time to sit with Craig. You've been sitting with Craig previously on tests for Hyundai, is that correct? No, not with Hyundai. No,
sorry.
I've done a couple of pre-event tests this year with him in the Puma. So it was both on gravel and tar. So it was definitely good to get a feel of both surfaces and to his notes, and be in the car, obviously the Puma, because it's the car I'm going to be in. So it's that's been really good and a big help. But also been working with Craig in Kenya and Greece and New Zealand, the rounds I have been doing with Josh, helping out with notes and stuff with him and Paul, and so it's all been learning a lot and learning his way of doing things, and it's hopefully that'll stand to me now in Japan.
James, fingers crossed there. Hope it all goes well for you this weekend to have another WRC title coming to this island again. 2 in 1 year. Can we, dare to dream? Then finally we catch up with Aaron Johnston, who gives us his thoughts of being back in Spain, and then Craig Breen. Conor decided to take a different track with Craig and throw him, a few random questions. Just, I'm sure he's fed up listening, having to answer the same questions all the time about how the WRC campaign's going for him. So we thought we'd put a wee slight different stunt and things, and asked him a few questions that he probably wasn't expecting, and his answers are very, very funny.
And in Salou Service Park, we're joined with Aaron Johnston. Aaron, how were the stages today? Well, you completed 2 days of recce. What's your thoughts? What's your feelings ahead of the rally?
Yeah, it's nice to be here back in Salou. It's an event that I enjoy, especially with the smooth tarmac. It's as close as we get to circuit racing, let's say. The stages we did yesterday we have done before last year, and the stages we did today are all new, so a little bit 50-50. We know the event quite well, but again the Friday will be all new for us, so there is a challenge in that aspect, especially when it's the first day of the rally, but looking forward, and hopefully we can have a strong result.
And just I had a very brief look at the new stages. To me, they look less technical. They look a bit faster, quicker. Is that what they are like, or?
Yeah, generally I think it's fair to say that they're fast and maybe not as technical, but there is a lot of cuts, so you have that aspect where there will be a lot of pollution for the second pass, which adds another element to the role. But okay, let's see. That's what the gravel crew are there for.
And this weekend, with regard to the championship, kind of what's the target for yourselves?
It's hard to say. You know, we are a little bit behind Elphin in fourth, and we have a reasonable margin to Craig back in sixth. So I think at the penultimate round of the championship, we just keep doing what we've been doing all year and try to score some solid points, and then it'll leave us with a little bit more comfort going into Japan for a bit of a push.
Were to look between Group B or Group A, and you could travel back in time, what would be the combo of the team, the car, who would be your teammate?
From where? From what period?
Group A or Group B?
I go Group B, 85, 86 before FISA made all the rallies smaller. Yeah, obviously the strong affiliation with the Metro 6R4.
Yeah.
We were like as a teammate. Yeah, probably Henry Toiven in that period of time, and just get to do all the old classics, the Corsicas, Acropolis, all the big long rallies, the big long practices beforehand. So it's definitely born in the wrong year of me.
Grand. And obviously we're seeing you out with your dad Ray. Have you had the mum in the car? And if so, how did it go?
Mum did, yeah, she was actually in Rally Legends 2 years ago. I think I did the last day, just a couple of stages around the Super Special in the Metro actually with Mum. So screamed away around, but she seemed to enjoy it. So she's a chief warrior. She stays in the background really, and yeah, but she did get into the car on one occasion. Probably one, and only going to be one time.
Brilliant. And what rally gives you the goosebumps? What one gets you the most excited, you know, in the build-up and the lead-up to it?
Probably Monte Carlo, to be fair. You know, Monte every year is always something special. It's unique. It's an event that, you know, naturally brings on a bit of nerves anyway because of the challenge of it, but obviously the history of the event as well. So yeah, that's probably the one that stands out to me.
Right. And we see quite a few youngsters coming through the MI Academy. What piece of advice would you give anybody getting into the sport?
Don't give up. Probably most important than anything else is don't lose the passion. The sport requires too much effort, too much time, commitment for someone who doesn't have the passion and who doesn't live and breathe everything about it. You won't have the patience to stay at it, and you won't have the patience to put in all the work, the long hours, the time away from friends and family, the commitment. So as long as you've got that passion big enough in your heart and you want to do it, then you know anything is possible. But that's the biggest thing I would say.
And Craig, one last question: who's the best co-driver, Patrick Croak or John Bowden?
Well, to be fair, one of them called notes for a whole day, which was better than what the other one did. But I leave them fight amongst themselves. Although Bobo has the best AWRC profile, he has 100% record, one start, one finish, one win. So he's probably got the record books good sorted for that one.
Great to hear from our two guys there, Aaron and Craig. You know, flying the flag for this country and how well they're doing on the world stage. You know, it's fantastic. You know, and I think we still haven't got a definitive answer on who's the best crew driver, Patrick Croak or John Bowden. So I'm going to have to leave that until another day. So that was the shortened version of Crunching Gears. I hope you enjoyed it. So remember, please like, share, comment, rate. All those things is gratefully appreciated. And until the next time, speak soon, take care, and bye.